What is up, YouTube? This is Lengthy coming at you with a video, kind of like response to MegaCapital G's video on about fire formation Tenki. Now, I agree with what he's saying. The fact that a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh players currently are just splashing this card into their deck and just putting in Tenki to search for anything that they've got, really, even if it's like one card. Like one of the wind-up decks had Tenki in search for, like, your rabbit and such, and it's just like, what, really? It seems like the whole scene of Yu-Gi-Oh is they latch onto one card and won't let go of it until someone proves otherwise. Currently, everyone's just like putting the engine of Tenki and Bear into their deck, and they think, yeah, this is a great engine. It's just like, oh, really? It doesn't, even when it doesn't go with the deck, it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not entirely sure why people keep doing it. I mean, they're good. I like Fire Fists in a sense, because, it's they're an interesting deck. They're very basic in what they do. I think they as MegaCapital G said, it attacks. They do simple removal, and it's just very, very old school beatdown, which I quite like. I don't run the deck myself, because it's not my favourite deck. But it's very old school in the sense of what they do, in my opinion. But Tenki is just going to get to the point where I agree. It's Konami are just going to limit it, or semi-limit it, or probably limit it. Because it's just going into so many different decks, and the fact that you can search for like a Beast Warrior, there's like loads of Beast Warriors, and people are just going out of their way to find them. Like some people are putting in Beaver Warrior, which I just don't understand. It's like, yeah, okay, Beaver Warriors are 1-2-1-5, but I just don't understand it. And people are then putting in like Rabbit Beast builds with Tenkis, and I'm like, no, they're just not good. I played so many of them on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, and they're just inconsistent, and you just obliterate them, and maybe they're just bad players, maybe they're just unlucky, but I just don't think it's good enough. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like the game really annoys me currently. The fact that everyone's just doing the same thing over and over again, are playing the same decks, and they're not having any creativity, which I think this game misses. There's a couple that do be quite creative, but you need something different. Like, okay, I might be a bit hypercritical and say that, yeah, one of my decks next format is going to be Evil Swans, and you could argue that, yes, that's one of the most boring decks and one of the most linear decks around, because all it does is go Orpheon and set Infestation Pandemic and done. But it's just because that was one of my favourite decks since they came out. But it's just like all these decks that are just really very linear, just really annoy me. Another one is these the element dragons, the tempest dragons, whatever they are. They're just so boring and dull, and they're stupid and overpowered. Then you got prophecies that imply no form of like imagination next format, because it's just going to be play as many spell cards as you can. Judgment, oh good, or Judgment, play as many spell cards as you can, win next turn probably. It's just the game's getting really boring at the fact that you just play the same thing over and over and over again, and I really miss like some decks that are just like, they can be competitive, but people don't actually invest time into them because they can't be arsed with it, because they think, oh, it's not good because it's not topped. I just disagree, and I think the Yu-Gi-Oh world needs to kind of step back and think, okay, right, what they need to look at the meta, look at the format, and then go from there. It's fair enough if you like the deck. I mean, I'm not bashing you if you're going to play it, but personally, I'm just getting annoyed of seeing all these decks. But that's going besides the point. Tenki kind of idolizes these types of decks that just want to throw something in, and they're just boring. And whatever. But that's basically it. It was just a very quick video. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you think of Tenki, and like, subscribe, and always catch you later.